Element Cup is almost here, and here are my top 4 team recommendations. Without any further ado, let's start off with the first one because these battles are gonna be extremely fast. On the lead for the first team showcase out of the total 4, we're gonna have the Ducklett, at the back the Bulbasaur and the Chinchou. So Chinchou is mainly gonna be the main anti-Ducklett option because this Pokemon has no other weaknesses other than Chinchou. Okay, hidden power, electric and stuff like that, but those moves are not good overall, while Chinchou can definitely do the job correctly and can tank even a whole Brave Bird and of course one Bubble Beam right after while completing that amazing farm down against a Ducklett. And if you didn't know, Ducklett is the new king of the meta after that drop on the rankings from that Salandit and that Poison Fang, but still you're gonna see that Salandit is gonna be a very good Pokemon and I'm gonna showcase it towards the end of the video. Safe switch of this team is gonna be the Bulbasaur, able to pressure a lot with those charge attacks, and of course you might want to consider running Aerial Ace over Brave Bird on your Ducklett for it to be even more consistent. As a core breaker here, I just have another Chinchou because up on the lead, if you happen to encounter it, you have to bring your own Chinchou instead of your Bulbasaur, and that is gonna be the only troublemaker for this team. Other than that, you're gonna be just fine, and this team has a lot of potential into the Element Cup. Execute is a heavy fast attack pressurer for this cup. I like it with confusion a lot, has a lot of play against its counters, especially the flyers and the Ducklett, so that's why I recommend using it up on the lead. You might want to consider running something like a bullet seed, who knows, but I still recommend running the confusion because of its crazy damage output, and of course against poison types you are not gonna regret it. Against Grimer, against something like a Salandit, against a Marini, whatever, you're gonna be on a very good spot overall, and you're gonna have a better matchup against another confusion user, which is gonna be the Slowpoke. So this team has a lot of potential, especially because it is gonna be played as an ABB team style. You got double water at the back, and Seal is an amazing safe switch once again for this little cup format. Element Cup will be in deep trouble with that Icy Wind, with the Aqua Jets or Tail. I totally forgot about this one, but still you're gonna get there super fast with your Leaks, and Leaks are gonna help you a lot against neutral threats and of course psychic types like the opposing Execute or something like a Slowpoke. As a core breaker here, we're having the Carvanha, and yeah, this Pokemon with its Shadow form or even with the bites can shred apart the confusion user, whatever that might be, and especially our Execute on this instance, while at the back it can go pretty rough up against our Leak Pokemon, which is the Seal, because it can resist those moves, and against Marini it needs to get hit by at least a Brine because this Pokemon is gonna be extremely classy. On the positive note though, this team has a very nice and bulky backline. It can survive the hits pretty easily, leaving aside the room for the Execute in order to sweep their entire team. So Wooper now, this Pokemon is pretty solid for the Element Cup, pretty safe even against its counters. What it is mostly afraid of is gonna be the grass typing and the Ducklett, but still those body slams are gonna be coming clutch towards the end of the game if you can rotate properly around your Vulpix, because Vulpix might struggle a little bit against the water types, but still this is another Pokemon that can reach to those body slams pretty fast, and if you have a Shadow one, you are not gonna regret it. Most of those water types are gonna be on the 2-shot range, so you can definitely pressure for that shield, and with that shield out of the way, your Pumpkaboo then is gonna be on a very good spot. Did I say that correctly? Pumpkaboo, something like it. So whatever size you're gonna use it, just remember Razor Leaf is gonna be your main choice. At the second move as your charge attack, you might want to run only Shadow Sneak. I don't know if you want to run any grass charge attacks. I'm just fine with Shadow Sneak, to be honest. I can get there fairly fast, and of course pressure mostly with my Razor Leaf. So this team is kinda fast. It relies a lot on the Pumpkaboo sweeping the entire team of your opponent, but still the Wooper and the Vulpix have to get some shields out of the way for sure with those body slams. What I like about Wooper is that it's gonna be your main weapon against that Salandit, which is pretty neat, and of course with the Salandit out of the way, or if you can bait it out with that Vulpix, your Pumpkaboo will be on a very good spot overall. As a core breaker here, I have added the Ducklett, but once again the Body Slams from the Vulpix and the Wooper are still gonna be kinda clutch against that Pokemon, and the Razor Leaf is gonna be neutral against this flyer because of its water typing, so I would not be that much worried about the Ducklett, but instead of another threat, something like Salandit at the back. So rotate properly and you're gonna be just fine using this line. Now for the final team showcase, if you are looking for a very strong yet quick team, even quicker than the rest of the teams for the Element Cup, well, feel free to use something like this, because Salandit upon the lead is just gonna dominate against all of the grass types, has a very solid battle against Ducklett, and of course its main weakness is gonna be the ground typing, so with Wooper out of the way, you're gonna be going pretty rough at your enemies. Salandit now able to shred apart a lot of threats in the meta, and at least one Poison Fang is gonna get you there to that win pretty easily, debuffing the enemy, and of course you're gonna be on a very good spot towards the end game. At the back we have two Pokemon that can protect the Salandit from the Wooper threat, and that is gonna be the battle with the Cotoni. ABB team once again pretty heavily relying on the fast attacks to be useful, and I believe that this team will have a lot of success if you will decide to use it towards your asset, since you can pressure every single Pokemon that exists out there with those fast attacks, so this team gets A on coverage for sure. As a core breaker, we're having the Skrelv because it's gonna take very effective damage from those Poison Fangs, while the Water Guns are just gonna dominate against our Pokemon. However, the Razor Leafs and perhaps the Resisted Charms are still gonna do a lot of work up against the Skrelv, and eventually when they are gonna be out of HP, they might have no other severe counter to your entire line, so you're gonna be in a very good spot towards the end of the battle. And that is gonna be a wrap for today's video covering my top teams for the Element Cup. If you feel like you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like before you go, and of course subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. With that said, here are my next videos that might be of interest to you, so check them out, and I will see you all into the next one.